So in data science, we've got some major concepts that I want to talk about because they're going to come up as we talk about data science. And the first one is data wrangling. If you think of data wrangling, you can think of like, cattle wrangling, like what the cowboys used to do with their cows. It's like get them in order, like get them inside the pen, keep them from straying all over the place. Data wrangling is the same thing. You're looking at data. Data in the real world is not clean and tidy and uniform. Data is crazy out there. Even just think about YouTube behavior, right? On YouTube, it's pretty easy for us to say, oh, well, if you watch this video, I should show you a video that's linked to it. But what if I watch half of the video and then leave? What if I press pause for 30 minutes and then come back and watch the rest of it? Like there's all kinds of variations in behavior that don't fit into that neat little, if you watch this, then maybe you'll want to watch that, right? So I have to figure out, data wrangling is figuring out what to do with data that doesn't fit this neat, tidy little mold that we make, and then getting it so that it does, so that we can make sense of it. So that's data wrangling in a nutshell. It involves cleaning up things. It involves completing empty records. One of the most common data wrangling scenarios is when we give students surveys at BC. What happens if a student fills out only half of the survey? Do we throw the whole thing out? Do we keep only the questions they've answered? Do we try to guess at the answers for the ones that they didn't answer? Like, what do you do? So figuring out what you do about incomplete or data that doesn't fit the mold is data wrangling. So you got to clean it up, make it whole, or at least make it more uniform, or else when you do statistical analysis on it, it won't make sense because it'll be weird. So statistical analysis is sort of the next layer of stuff. Doing basic statistics can sometimes help us figure out some things about the data that will guide sort of our next steps and how we want to analyze the data. So knowing things about how data looks, about data trends, how to spot things like correlations in the data or significant differences in the data. If you had statistics, some of those terms will make sense to you. But understanding things like the mean, mode, median, the quartiles of the data, how that data is shaped from a statistical perspective, all of those things help guide our data analysis. And so statistics is sort of the foundation for data science. And then we build on that with other things. One of the things that we build upon statistical analysis with is machine learning. We're going to actually do some machine learning today, and I've got some code that you can use to try out some machine learning concepts on your own and play around with it a little bit. Machine learning sounds like this big, scary thing, right? Like, oh, AI, once the robots get a hold of AI, we're all doomed. Maybe that's true, but machine learning is much simpler than that. And it's not that complicated. All it involves is showing a computer the answers. So showing the computer a pattern of things. And then you give it half of the pattern to test it. And if it can fill out the other half of the pattern correctly, then you're good. Then that means the machine learning was successful.